Everyone, I'm Matt, and welcome to the Good Trouble Show. So we have some news on UFO legacy crash retrieval programs by the United States government. You heard it right. But first, if you like this video, please do us a solid. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons on YouTube, or if you're on Twitter, kindly give us a retweet and a follow. So this is what has been happening in Congress.
In 2021, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand led efforts alongside Senator Marco Rubio and Representative Ruben Gallego to include an amendment in the latest defense bill that required the DoD to set up a permanent office meant to investigate what they're calling UAPs.
Under all circumstances, you need to know what it is. Because if it is an adversary, let's say it's Russia or China, you better know what technology they have. And if it's other, then you also need to know that. Like, you really have to know the answer and use as much scientific capabilities we have to make those determinations. And if we don't have enough scientific capability, then increase the scientific capability.
Now, we all know that the government loves acronyms, and this is totally no exception. So this permanent office in the Pentagon is called AARO, A-A-R-O, or All Domain Anomalous Resolution Office. It's a freaking mouthful. So the congressional legislation that was put forth by these lawmakers requires AARO to submit classified and unclassified reports to the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. Last week, the ODNI delivered these reports to Congress.
The Defense Department says it has received 366 new reports of UFOs, or unidentified aerial phenomena.
This morning, U.S. intelligence agencies confirm hundreds of additional UAP sightings have been reported. UAP stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, otherwise known as UFOs. The annual report on unidentified aerial phenomena now reveals 366 new close encounters since an agency was formed in 2021 to track them. That's more than double the number reported in the previous 17 years combined.
Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at this try.
Officials say they can explain less than half those encounters, usually a mix of drones, balloons, or birds. The rest remain a mystery. Like this Navy pilot's video from 2004, showing a group of unknown aviators seemingly defying the laws of physics.
There's a whole fleet of them. Oh my gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
So over half were identified as drones, balloons, or plastic bags, stuff like that. But what is really important about this half is that this is only an initial characterization, and they have yet to positively identify the source or the operators behind them. This is a very important point. But let's talk about the other category, which means vehicles not made by human hands. Former Director of National Intelligence, Mike Ratcliffe on Fox News had this to say on Sunday.
But it gives us more information. We need to find out when there are, and there very clearly are now, hundreds of unexplained sightings, meaning that there's no natural phenomenon involved, there's no visual disturbance, it's not clutter or debris or birds or anything else, but objects that demonstrate technologies that seem to defy the law of physics and capabilities that we don't have as the world's superpower. You know, our role in the federal government is to provide for the common defense, and we can't do that if someone else has technologies that are better than we have.
Treat us like an adult here. You've seen the intel. It's January 15th in the year 2023. Are aliens real?
Well, I can't talk to you about, any potential alien life, so I'll just leave it at that.
So he's talking about a non-human intelligence. Yesterday, the Liberation Times posted a story on Ratcliffe's appearance on Fox News, noting that, quote, Liberation Times understands that Ratcliffe is aware that some UAP are attributable to a non-human intelligence. Now, last August, I stated that in an off-the-record conversation I had with congressional sources on Capitol Hill, it was revealed that UAPs were real and were regularly observed on our nation's space-based platforms. They were not talking about Russian or Chinese drones. As a matter of fact, the national security advisor that was on this call stated that they may never understand where these things are coming from. In other words, they're not coming from here. Now, when I posted this, John Greenwald of the Black Vault asked why people on Capitol Hill would even talk to me. So what many of you may not know is that I'm also the founder of the political activist group Stand for Better. We've produced literally hundreds of political ads advocating for Democrats. So as part of that, we have relationships with officials on Capitol Hill and in other areas of government, including those members who are behind the disclosure effort. Now, when these officials cannot speak publicly, they do so off the record. Now, speaking of on the record, there's actually a lot going on this month. I was the first to report that people involved with historical UAP crash retrieval programs were testifying under oath to Arrow. Quote, I can confirm from a source directly involved with the UAP UFO disclosure effort in Washington that this month, several people are testifying in a skiff with DoD Arrow Director Sean Kirkpatrick regarding historical UFO crash retrievals, close quote. The Liberation Times later independently confirmed my reporting. Now, what was actually really cool was that the lead singer of Blink-182, and actually one of the guys that got this whole disclosure ball rolling, retweeted our quote with a cool emoji. So, Tom, we think you are pretty cool. Today, Project Unity posted this on Twitter, quote, I have confirmation from a trusted and reliable source that key individuals with the Senate are reaching out to those who might be able to provide disruptive testimony on program affiliations. This source has been contacted by such individuals with this purpose in mind. Now, I have confirmed with a source directly involved in the UAP disclosure effort on Capitol Hill that the Senate is indeed reaching out to people involved in historical crash retrieval programs. It's a really big deal. So, are we in possession of crashed UFOs? My sources say yes, and Congress knows about it.
Has any physical evidence, such as debris, been recovered?
The debris that has been recovered has not raised any notable alarms, and that's as much as I'll say.
That was Congressman Andre Carson, who sits on the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. So, what does the United States military have in its possession, and how have they hidden this from Congress, presidents, and more importantly, you? On Tuesday, January 17th at 11 a.m. Pacific, we are joined by UFO researcher Daniel Elizondo, known under the pseudonym Omega Point, to dig into all of this. This whole show is going to be geared to our friends that know absolutely nothing about the UAP topic and want to learn more. This is going to be a very big subject for everyone that's coming around the corner. You won't want to miss it. And again, we will be airing this episode Wednesday, January 17th at 11 a.m. Pacific. We will see you then.